To introduce our speaker, Phil Tourney. I would like to introduce him by reading from the book about Phil, basically reading what's called a paradoxical award from President Johnson and Admiral John McCain II. And this gives you a little description of what we'll be talking about today. The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Bronze Star Medal to Petty Officer Third Class Philip Francis Tourney, United States Navy, for service as set forth in the following citation. For heroic achievement in connection with the unprovoked and unexpected armed attack on USS Liberty, AGTR-5, in the eastern Mediterranean on 8 June of 1967. During the early afternoon hours, the USS Liberty, while engaged in peaceful operations in international waters, was attacked without warning by jet fighter aircraft and 3 motor torpedo boats. The Liberty was subjected to intense incendiary machine gun and rocket fire and was placed in extreme jeopardy by a torpedo hit below the waterline on the starboard side in the vicinity of the research compartment. Severe structural damage and extensive personnel casualties were incurred. Petty Officer Turney, serving as assistant on scene leader in the forward repair party, first assisted in organizing the evacuation of wounded personnel from the exposed weather decks. With complete disregard for his own personal safety, he continued to fearlessly expose himself to intense rocket and machine gun fire to move a firefighting team to the bridge. He then returned to the forward weather decks to ensure that no more wounded were still exposed before going below to maintain damage control conditions of compartments below the waterline. He remained below decks during the torpedo attack and immediately afterward assisted and directed emergency repairs to minimize further flooding and damage. His aggressiveness and coolness under the fire was exceptional, inspirational leadership in an hour of awesome peril. Petty Officer Turney's initiative and courageous actions were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. Petty Officer Turney is authorized to wear the V, Combat V, for valor. For the President, John S. McCain, Jr., Admiral, United States Navy Commander-in-Chief, United States Naval Forces of Europe. That is a description in his award that he was given the Bronze Star for heroic actions. Interesting that it doesn't mention Israel once. Just have to mention that, and I'm sure Phil will talk about that, just the brazen act that was committed on that vessel, and it leads to today, in the midst of this horrific genocide of 2 million people by starvation, there's a direct line. And the common thread is that the United States is complicit, and that's our own country, and it's unconscionable. That's all I want to say in saying to Phil, it's an honor to be with you in your presence and hear your story. We tried once and we had an audio tech issue, so we have you again here, and we'd like to hear from you again. And thank you again for joining us from Colorado. Earlier in the morning than here. And again, thanks, Phil, for your service.
Thank you so much, Dean. It's my great honor for you to invite me to this very, very important show. It's your church, and it means a lot to me that people don't forget, because 34 of my brothers a week from today were slaughtered by the Zionist state of Israel. People think that this story is just going to go away. I'm pushing 80 right now, and it's not going away as long as I'm walking. My shipmates don't have a voice, but I do. And you mentioned nothing about the attackers in that citation. All of them were like that. Not a word about who did it. Not a word about the criminals that tried to murder us all. They did murder 34, blew them to bits in this 2-hour bloodbath. Excuse me. The air attack started at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, that morning we were overflown by Israeli reconnaissance aircraft over and over again. That happened also on the 7th. We got on the station on the 7th of June. It happened then, and it happened again that morning. Suddenly, the airplanes would tip their wings, and we could see the pilots. That's how close they were. They were propeller planes, flying boxcar, DC-3, and smaller planes, all prop driven with the Star of Dave on them. We felt very, very good that our friends uh, were there to help us in case anything happened, because we were denied a destroyer escort we requested twice. We were in a war zone. You could see the bombs bursting on the beach. Great big black clouds, um, just all over and over again. You could see it, and we had our flag up, always flying. At 2 o'clock, they attacked us with Mystere and Mirage jets. They did over 30 sorties. Within the first 3 seconds, they knocked out every antenna on our spy ship. Now, it was the most sophisticated spy ship in the world at that time. We could bounce signals off the moon back to National Security Agency within 3 seconds in 1967. So you can imagine what they have now. So we didn't have any idea who was attacking us. We thought it was the Arabs. But no, it was our best friends in the whole wide world. We thought the Jews, the Zionist state. They blocked all of our tuning antennas. They blocked everything. One was taken offline by Terry Haldebardier. He ran a long wire to it, got a message out to the Sixth Fleet. It went as far as Vietnam. They picked it up in Vietnam. Help, help, Rockstar, under attack by unknown jet aircraft. Captain Tully sent jet aircraft to come to our aid immediately. And this is about, 12, 13 minutes into the attack. Help was on the way, and McNamara got on the phone, said, return those aircraft. Send them back to base. Do not help Liberty. Do not help Liberty. So they went back to their ship on the Saratoga. A few moments later, the America and the Saratoga relaunched jet fighter aircraft to come to our aid. LBJ got on the line, and he says, I don't give a GD about a few dead sailors. I will not embarrass my ally Israel. Now, how did he know who was attacking us if we didn't? We were set up by our own government to be sunk and blame it on Egypt, bring us into World War III, and we were close. There was SAC aircraft in the air even before we got attacked to go bomb Cairo. That's how this setup went down. When the jet airplanes got through with us, it was 25 or 30 minutes. We thought it was over. It wasn't close to being over. We saw 3 motor torpedo boats off our starboard side. They had the Star of David on them. We thought, thank God our buddies are here to help us. Because we still didn't know who was attacking us until then, till that moment. When we saw the Star of David, they weren't there to help us. They were there to sink us. That attack lasted for another hour and a half. So in this 2-hour bloodbath, the torpedo boats were there an hour and a half. They fired 5 torpedoes at us. 2 went aft that I know of, where the other 2, I don't know where they went, but I know where one went. It went right into the CT spaces, the spies, and blew 25 beautiful young men to bits. They had to piece them together when we got back to Malta. They were just all in bits and pieces. The torpedo boats circled us and circled us and circled us, firing their 50 caliber machine guns, cannons, anything they could to kill anything that moved. Firefighters, stretcher bearers, anything that moved, they wanted dead. We thought we were going to sink. The old man said, prepare to abandon ship. We only had 3 life rafts left out of 294 souls. We only had 3 life rafts left. They shot them all up. They dropped napalm on our ship to burn us up. They shot the life rafts out of the water. They shot 2 of them out of the water. We were going to put our most seriously wounded in them so they'd have a chance at life. And they shot them out of the water like it was no big deal. War crimes. There were so many war crimes committed that day. And in 205, we filed a war crimes report to the Army. That's where it went to. That's where it had to go to. They denied to even look at it. This cover-up is so deep and disgusting and sinful. It brings a grown man to tears. It has me many times. The torpedo boats finally got through with us. We thought it was over again, but no, it wasn't. Here come helicopters carrying Israeli Marines ready to board our ship, ladder or rope down, however they were going to do it. I was up on the starboard deck, top side, on the starboard side, and this helicopter was there with the Israeli dude, Marine, with an automatic weapon in his hand. Thought they were going to kill us all, so I just flipped him off. He did the same thing to me and started smiling. Just smiled. All the damage and destruction, what you get out of them is a smile. Is a smile for what they did to American sailors and Marines. And I might add, there were Jews on that ship too who were killed. I know of at least 2 that were killed by the very people that love that religion and love those people. You know, there's a lot of different components to this. Admiral McCain, the one that signed that award for me, as he did all of them, he left everything out, but he was part of the cover-up. He was the catalyst of it. Admiral Isaac Kidd, after the America and the Saratoga, America and the USS Davis got there in the Massey the next morning on the 9th, they left us out there for 17 hours. Our government did, hoping we'd sink. We didn't see any rescue aircraft, anybody, for 17 hours. They didn't even send a Piper Cub over to help us see what was going on. That's what our government did. That's how corrupt and crooked both governments are. The Zionist state and our government to this very moment have been covering up the truth, threatening us with prison or death if we ever talked about it. I didn't talk about it for almost 18, 19 years until I read an article by a friend of mine, Master Chief Stan White. God bless his soul, he's passed on now. And that's when I said, wow, if he can talk, I'm going to start talking. I haven't shut up since. I've been called every name in the book, Jew hater, a Nazi. In fact, I made Anti-Semite of the week this last week because I'm telling the truth. I'm an anti-Semite. That word is worn out. It's worn out and it's been used too much. When you tell the truth, they call you names. I get threats. Our crew has gotten threats. They don't want us talking, but we're talking. They tried to scuttle our reunion coming up. I'll be in Virginia Beach this next coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, honoring our fallen mates. They tried to shut us down there in the VFW because one of the speakers we had, they didn't like him. We fought and died for people to have the right for free speech. That's what you do. When you join the military, you take an oath of the Constitution. And that's what all people in the military take an oath to protect and defend the Constitution in the United States. And the First and Second Amendment are the biggest ones to me. But they want to take that away because you tell the truth. President Trump, he knows about this. We've written him. I've sent him things on True Social. Never get a reply back. it just, goes on and on and on. What is it going to take uh, to get this story out? No one should be allowed to get by with cold-blooded, premeditated murder of Americans, sailors, and Marines, or any American in the world and get by with it. Now, if this had been in any other country besides Israel, they would have wiped them off the map. They'd have been done. But our government gave Israel billions and billions of dollars, and they continue to today, right to this second, sending them arms and munitions, slaughtering, starving innocent children that have no skin in this war. None. So who do you think runs our country? APAC, ADL runs our country. Tom Massey said it best. Everybody in the Republicans has got an APAC handler. APAC handler. If the Republicans got it, the Democrats do. All of them. They got handlers to say, don't touch this subject, but touch the other one. Don't touch this subject. Make sure you don't touch the USS Liberty ever. Stays buried. Lyndon Johnson and Levi Eshkol, Prime Minister of Israel, got the little cabal together. It was a handful of people to start World War III. That's how close we came. By the grace of God, he held that ship up because we were going over. And he held that ship up for days like this, for people like me to talk about the USS Liberty and what happened, and the savagery, the brutality, the thought that they didn't care what they did. They just wanted us at the bottom. They even knew, one of the pilots said, hey, but it's an American ship. It's an American ship. Headquarters got back to him. You have your orders. Attack it now. And attack it they did, and the consequences are well known. 174 wounded, 34 murdered in a 2-hour bloodbath that's gone on for the last 58 years. We're fighting this battle. This battle's never stopped for me. Since June 8th, 1967, this battle's never stopped. I'm still in battle with my voice. Not raising arms, not guns, not bombs, not nothing else. We don't condone that. The USS Liberty is a very peaceful organization, and we believe in Jesus Christ as our Savior. This is a peaceful revolution with your words and facts. And that's where I'm coming from. So I do want to mention this too. I'm going to start my own podcast here in the next, when I get back from the reunion next Monday. Soon after that, I'll be starting my own podcast on YouTube, Rumble, TikTok, all of them. So it'll be the Phil Tourney podcast. So if anybody wants to join in, and take a bird's eye view of what's going on, because I'm going to have survivors on with their eyewitness testimony. I'm going to have documents, unrefutable. You can't refute the truth. We're on a mission from God. I'm gonna have I'd like to have Dean on, or anybody else that wants to tell the story about the USS Liberty. I'm going to get Pastor Chuck Baldwin. I think you all have heard of him. I'm going to graciously ask him if he'll come on, and I think he will. And many other smart people. But I'm going to have so many survivors that are left. There's only going to be 16 or 18 at the reunion. We used to have a heck of a lot, but they're all dying off. They got cancer. They're too old. They can't walk. By the grace of God, I still have a good body and a sound mind. And this isn't revenge or hate for me. This is the truth. It's my legacy as an American and a survivor of the USS Liberty to spread the word to everybody in this country and around the world. We have supporters around the world. And that is, probably the greatest gift I've ever gotten in my life. Candace Owens is certainly one of them. Jake Shields, Fresh and Fit, Myron Gaines, Jimmy Dore, Scott Ritter. I've been, Clayton Morris, Redacted. I've been on those shows, all of them. They've always been gracious to me, inviting me, and treated me with respect as I did them. I really appreciated their help. So, with that, I want to show you one more thing here. See that bell there? And that, I'm going to bring it down here. If you can see that, I had this made up in honor of the crew, the men that died that day. And I'm going to be selling these. I had them made up at a substantial cost, but I'm going to be selling them on my podcast for around $100. And you can ring that bell in honor of these men every June the 8th. Even when we're dead and gone, the memory will live on. So that's my mission here. And Dean, I give you all the respect in the world, and your church for giving me this opportunity. And like I say, just go to Phil Tourney podcast, YouTube, Rumble, TikTok, any of them. You'll find me there. And the crew's getting together, and it's going to be a very tough one because everybody's dying off, and sad to say, but as long as I'm alive, as long as I can sit in this chair, I'm going to be telling the truth. This is God's gift to me. He kept me alive. He kept me fairly healthy. Well, actually, real healthy. Very fortunate. My hearing's going a little bit in my eyesight, but everybody knows that. That goes with age. But other than that, I'm fit and I'm ready to go, and I'm going to stand tall as long as I can. And God bless you all for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it means the world to me. God bless you all. Thank you.
Phil Tourney, thank you so much.